Okay, so before I even dive into this topic, I want you to ask yourself right now, how do I view my narcissistic parent? And there's no right or wrong. Whatever comes up, drop down into the comment section and let me know before you even dive into this information. Now, am I saying I'm going to change anything with this video? I don't know. But what I do know is that my goal with this video is to uncover some ways of looking at narcissistic parents that might accidentally be keeping us stuck, and also uncover ways that we can look at them that are helpful for us. It's not about them, it's about what is helpful for us. So that being said, let's dive in. For those that don't know me, my name is Michele. I'm a trauma-informed coach, a somatic experiencing practitioner, and the founder of the School of Transformation, which to me is like nervous system gym. My videos are about giving knowledge and understanding to narcissistic abuse and healing, and the School of Transformation is about learning how to embody what you learn. So if you like my videos, but you're looking for a live interactive resource, make sure you come join me live on Zoom every week. And I just want to say before we dive into this topic, I know that it can be a very sensitive topic, and it actually is something that's very timely for me personally, because recently I lost a parent that possibly may have been on that scale of NPD, possibly borderline. I can't diagnose, but regardless, this was somebody that had a lot of trauma herself and hurt people. And so I myself had to deal with a lot of relational trauma because of my childhood. And so I can say from firsthand experience that I know full well that growing up with a narcissistic parent can be one of the hardest things to untangle as an adult. Because on one hand, they're your family. Maybe they even provided for you, or there were probably moments where they seemed to care. And yet on the other hand, their behavior created deep relational wounds, making it hard to trust people, to connect with others, or even to be able to believe in your own worth. So trust me, I know just how confusing it is. And so it brings us right back to this topic. Like, how do you view somebody that is supposed to love you more than anyone else in the world, right? Even when everyone else turns their back on you, this person is supposed to love you. And yet this person hurt you so deeply. So it's definitely a challenge, right? And there's no clear-cut answer to this. And so what I thought I would do was break down 3 ways that can be popular, ways to view a narcissistic parent and yet can actually keep you stuck, and 3 ways that are helpful and more empowering for you that allow you to validate your experience and yet not stay stuck in the past experience. Let's start with some ways that are actually super common, but they actually create a loop where you're never able to let go of the pain, even if the narcissistic parent has passed away or is no longer in your life anymore. One way is by viewing them as perfect and everything they did as 100% correct, and yourself as the blame for all of the problems in the relationship. So you might have thoughts like, they did their best, but what about this one nice thing? Forget about the 1,000 horrible things. Let's focus on this one nice thing they did. Maybe they're amazing, and I'm just too sensitive. Sometimes the reason we wind up viewing a narcissistic parent this way is because we're stuck in a strategy that we developed in childhood. You see, for a child to say mom and dad are not safe is too uncomfortable to their nervous system, because if mom and dad aren't safe, then who's going to take care of that child? I could die. That's basically the language and the sequence that the nervous system creates. And so to provide more comfort to the system, your nervous system develops a strategy. It's like, wait a second, maybe it's me. You see, because if I can view myself as the problem, then I can have something to focus on other than the pain of what they're doing to me. I can focus on trying to find the solution to the problem. So I'm avoiding looking at the pain, and I'm busy focusing on how to fix me so that everything else is okay. Now, in childhood, it was a smart strategy. right? If you didn't have any adults around you to help you, that is a very smart strategy. But getting stuck in it as an adult means that we will stay stuck viewing a person that is harming us in a way that causes us to blame and shame and attack and abandon ourselves. Imagine you're wearing rose-colored glasses. Everything they did seems justified or not that bad because by wearing those glasses, we're only focusing on either the good moments or on what we can do to fix ourselves so we don't see the pain. But the glasses aren't eliminating the pain. They're simply blurring it and preventing you from acknowledging how their actions are really affecting you. So it keeps you stuck excusing their behavior, minimizing your own pain, and it stops you from validating your true, authentic emotions. If this is ringing a bell and you're like, ooh, I keep doing this, you might want to ask yourself, if their actions weren't really that bad, why can't I let go of the pain? Why is it still so painful? Now, the flip side of that, and the second way that we can view a narcissistic parent that often will keep us stuck and yet is super popular, is viewing them as the monster that ruined your whole entire life and everything is their fault. And now this is a tricky one because the reality, the honest reality is they are the person that created the relational trauma in your life. They are the person that rewired your nervous system in a way that was disempowering for you, right? And I could go on and on. But when we make them the villain of our story, we're actually giving them all of our power. Now, in childhood, yes, they had all of the power. They took all of the power. They abused the power they had. But when we become adults, we step into a place of responsibility that gives us the opportunity to take our power back. For example, imagine you're carrying a heavy backpack filled with rocks, and each rock represents a way that they hurt you. Blaming them causes you to hold onto that backpack, causing you to be continually weighed down by the past. Because while it's true that they did cause you harm, focusing and blaming them gives your power over to them, and it keeps you in a victim mindset where you continue to hold onto that backpack, and therefore healing feels impossible, even if the narcissist is no longer in your life or affecting you the same way. The third way to see or view a narcissistic parent that will keep you stuck, that's very popular. In fact, I often see this in couples relationships, but it can also be with a parent. It's viewing them in a way as if it's your job to fix and help them. And so you might find yourself continually, chronically trying to get through to them. Maybe even thinking, if I can just get through, then we'll have a good relationship and then they'll love me. Again, this also is a strategy from childhood. Trying to find that secret formula to make them happy helped you in childhood to not notice the pain that the very person your life was dependent on was inflicting. And so we can get stuck in that as an adult as well. If it's hard for you to stop trying to fix them or to find that secret formula, we really have to take a moment to pause and notice that this strategy doesn't work. I can't tell you how many times I tried, hundreds, maybe even thousands of times throughout my lifetime of trying to find that secret formula. But when we're dealing with somebody that is manipulative or possibly a narcissist, trying to get through to them is like trying to build a bridge where somebody on the other side is continually tearing it down. They refuse to meet you halfway. The bridge never gets firmly established, no matter how often you try, no matter how hard you work. At some point, we have to use the past as evidence of what's going to happen when we try again, because we can stay stuck in this pattern. And instead of living our life, we're trying to build a bridge with somebody that is continually trying to tear it down. So now that we know what doesn't work, let's shift into what does. And I know with myself, the following 3 views or perspectives really helped me to learn how to validate my own experience, honor my healing, and create a path forward. Now, the first one that I want to share with you is viewing them as someone that was hurt themselves. And I want to state something really clearly. When I was on my road to recovery, it took me some time before I could get to this place. So if your first reaction is, yeah, right, see ya, I get it. I felt that way at one time as well. But as we deepen our own healing, we do reach this place, and I want to share why it's so powerful and helpful and empowering for you. But before that, I want to share with you something that happened with a client of mine. Now, most of my clients are between the ages of 30 and up. Honestly, I've had clients in their 70s as well, healing from narcissistic parents. But every now and then, I get somebody between the ages of 18 and 21 where they're just starting to piece this together at such a young age, which I'm so thrilled for them, right? Because they can avoid a lot of the repetition of toxic relationships that a lot of us had to go through because this information wasn't around when we were 19 and 20. Well, with this person, I had the privilege of working with them for several years. And I won't lie, the first year or two had nothing to do with getting to this place of realizing that this person, their parent, had been hurt. It was really about helping them to break free of enmeshment, of the trauma bond, and to learn how to have a healthier relationship with self. As that young person did that, I remember I didn't see them for a while, and then they came back into my coaching program, and they mentioned to me how they viewed their narcissistic parent. In fact, they had a boundaried relationship with their narcissistic parent now. They would visit, they would spend time. Again, it was very boundaried, right? And this person told me they learned about their parents' upbringing by other family members, and they realized that their parent also was hurt by somebody that had been hurt. And so being able to get to this place allowed this young person to stop blaming self, making it mean that because my parent treated me this way, I was unworthy. The meaning changed. It became my parent was this way because my parent was damaged. And honestly, it had nothing to do with me. It sucks that I had to be the recipient of it. It wasn't fair. But it really had nothing to do with my worth. And watching them get to that place and see how it then changed their whole life was absolutely amazing. When we get to this place where we can think, my parent probably developed these traits because of their own pain or trauma, it really becomes so liberating. In fact, imagine a chain, and your parents' behavior might be a link in that chain, passed down from their own childhood. Understanding this, don't get me wrong, it doesn't excuse them, but it breaks the cycle by helping you to see that their actions were about them and not you. And so it helps you to heal because it creates compassion without requiring closeness. So if you're not able to have a boundaried relationship, that's okay. That's not necessary in order to heal. You can acknowledge their wounds without denying their impact on you. And if they're still abusive, without denying that it is not healthy for you to have contact with them. The second way that we can view them in a way that is empowering to us is viewing them as limited in their capacity. And so again, this is a way of looking at them that changes the meaning. We start thinking things like, they couldn't give me what I needed, but it had nothing to do with my worth. It had to do with their incapacity. In other words, this is a them problem, not a me problem. And so picture a plant trying to grow in dry soil. No matter how much it needs water, the soil can't give it or can't provide it. Well, that's what a narcissistic parent is like. They lacked the capacity to nurture you in the way that you deserved. And so when we realize this, it helps us to heal because it allows us to grieve for what we didn't receive while letting go of the hope that they'll change. And so when we can let go of that false hope, we begin seeking what we need from ourselves and from healthy relationships. And the final way, not all inclusive, but the final way that I'm going to mention for this video, and this one is my favorite, but the final way we can view a narcissistic parent in a way that is super empowering is viewing ourselves as the hero of our own story. And so that's when we start thinking things like, yes, their actions shaped me, but they no longer define me, and I'm in charge of my life. So imagine you're holding a pen, and your parent may have written the first few chapters of your story, but now you get to write the rest. You're the hero, not the victim. And this helps you to heal because it takes your focus off of them, because that becomes energy leakage, and it puts your focus on yourself and allows you to take control of your recovery journey. I want to be totally transparent with you though. To get to that place where we can have those 3 empowering views takes time, it takes healing, it takes doing the inner work, it takes practice and consistency, but it is worth it. That's where the School of Transformation is so helpful. This information that you're hearing puts the knowledge here. The School of Transformation includes somatic modalities that help us to learn how to embody the healing journey so that we can actually put it into practice. Some of the things we learn how to do together is to acknowledge and be with the pain that's still stuck in the body without judgment. We also learn how to support these emotions instead of accidentally abandoning them. We learn how to change our self-image from how we viewed ourselves through the lens of the narcissistic parent's eyes to how we see ourselves as we truly are through our own eyes, and we learn how to reframe the narrative. We also learn how to focus on what we can control and how to find safety in the body, as well as so many other things. So if you're looking for more live support, make sure you join us live weekly on Zoom in the School of Transformation. However, whether you join me live or not, I hope you walk away with these key takeaways. Viewing your narcissistic parent differently is not about excusing their behavior. It's not even about pretending that it didn't hurt, but it's about freeing yourself. When you see them as hurt, as limited, as completely separate from your worth, you can then honor your pain while taking back your power. You are not the wounds they gave you. You are the person who gets to heal and grow beyond them. So grab your pen and start writing the story that you want to live because you deserve that freedom. Relational trauma does not have to be a life sentence.